So it's been a little while since I filmed a book haul, but that doesn't mean I stopped buying books. Let's talk about it.
My little Milky Way, shining where the dark can't stay. Don't say much, I hear you in the quiet anyway.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lily. This is Lily in the Library. Today I have a kind of medium-sized book haul, I guess. It has been quite some time. I'm not exactly sure when my last book haul was, but it has been quite some time. In that time, I still have been accumulating a lot of books, and this is by no means all of them, but these are some books that I have accumulated recently that I can remember because I did get new books before we moved, and those have since been intermingled with all of the other books, so I don't remember what books I've hauled on here, what books I haven't. So we're just kind of gonna start from what I can remember that I haven't for sure hauled, and I'm gonna go from there, and I will try to remember to haul books somewhat regularly. I usually do post my new books on my Instagram and talk about them a little bit, where they came from and all that jazz. One thing I will say is I do like buying books. I think a lot of people in the book community get a lot of grief for buying books and having a lot of books. There's been a lot lately about overconsumption and whether buying books is overconsumption or not. Personally, in my opinion, it's not. If we disagree, that's great, but I'm not interested in being badgered or told how I'm a bad person for buying books. I'm not, period. And I'm not going to accept any discourse on that. I'm just not. We're not going to get ugly about it. This is my channel. This is what I choose to do. If you don't like it, that's perfectly fine, and you are very welcome to keep moving and watch somebody else. That being said, for everyone else who's here to see what beautiful little books I've picked up, let's get into it. Two books that I'm so excited to haul. They are two of my favorite books of all time, and that is Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. These, of course, are the Illumicrate editions. I just received them, I think, at the end of March or beginning of April. And listen, I was so excited to receive these. I was so excited when they announced that they were going to even have these editions. And of course, I had to pick them up. On the edges, they just say no mourners, no funerals. And if you haven't read the series, that is like their, I don't know, sign off. Something that they say to each other anytime they're going on a mission, anytime they're going to be separated, and it's just like it's just their thing. Six of Crows is I believe it is a YA fantasy. I'm pretty sure this is YA. It's one of the first fantasy books I ever really got into. One of the books that actually brought me back to reading after I had been on such a break for a long time. I did read these physically, and they will always have a special place in my heart. If you don't know, Six of Crows is the first book in the duology. It takes place kind of in the Grishaverse, I think. I haven't read the Shadow and Bone series, so I'm not totally sure, but I do believe this takes place in the same universe. It is taking place in Ketterdam, which is a place within the universe. This is the map of where we are taking place with the story. And as you can see, Ketterdam is down here. So it is about a group of, I guess, children who need to perform a heist. Kaz Brecker is their leader. I don't remember completely all of the details of the story. I just remember that basically this one heist kind of goes across both books. So dramatic. There's so many things that happen in these books. It's so crazy. It will definitely have you feeling like these are not children. I definitely felt that way. It's hard to keep in the back of your mind that like Kaz is 17. Just the things that these kids are going through, the things that they are exposed to, the lives that they have is crazy to me. Like, it is so beyond crazy. So if you enjoy heist stories, I think this is like one of the OG, like everybody refers to Six of Crows as the heist story. Like, that is the heist story, in my opinion. And I think because of Six of Crows, I do love heist books like nobody's business. I do just want to show you guys the editions themselves. They are absolutely beautiful. And you might be thinking to yourself, Lily, they made a mistake. It's upside down. This is intentional. I'll show you why. That's why. They are mirror images. I think Illumicrate did a fabulous job on these. I am very, very happy with these. They are so beautiful. I'm so excited to finally be able to put them on my shelves now that I've pulled them. And these will actually be the third set of this duology that I have. I did purchase the Owl Crate versions, the Owl Crate special editions for Crooked Kingdom and Six of Crows as well. They actually had a whole specialty box. So I ended up purchasing that, but I don't necessarily love the editions. So I may end up selling those because I only have that set of special editions, my Illumicrate ones now, and then I have two just traditionally published copies. And those are like my reading copies. I do want to go back and reread, and I would love to annotate these books because they have such a special place in my heart. I would absolutely love to listen to the audiobooks as well. I really loved this story and I wanted so much more. I had hopes. I had very high hopes that this was going to be turned into a Netflix special, but unfortunately, they didn't even finish the Shadow and Bone trilogy, so I'm not holding my breath. But yeah, so let's move on to some more books. So next, I have a couple of recent Fairy Loot editions. I recently got Weaving Shaw, which it is a beautiful edition. This is the February adult fantasy box. It really is beautiful. This is a book that has gotten quite a bit of buzz lately, and I'm really excited to read it. Everyone that I've heard of reading it has had a really phenomenal time with it. So I'm super excited to have such a beautiful edition, but also to be able to read such a lovely book. I don't want to go into all the synopses with these books because we will be here for a while, but I will just read you a little bit of what is on the inside cover. Nothing this lovely could be cursed. The Saint of Silence trades coins for every sordid divulgence uttered to him. The darker the secret, the higher the price. Lena has a secret, one that has haunted her since she was 17. She can see the dead. When her brother falls ill, she knows what she must do: seek the saint. But Lena's secret is more valuable to the saint than she could have imagined. To save her brother, she must make a deal with him to find the ghost he's searching for. So, yeah. I heard there's also like some romance in this, even though this is a fantasy. There is like a romantic subplot. So I'm very excited to get into this one. Then, arguably one of the most beautiful books that I own, The Wicked Sea. I received this in a very recent box. I think it was the March or April fantasy. I don't think this was a romantic. I don't remember, and I have misplaced the card somewhere, so who knows? I'll put it up on the screen if I find out what box this was from. But this is a stunning edition. I think the sprayed edges are really beautiful. The naked hardcover is also quite gorgeous, but I think my favorite thing is the illustration on the end papers inside. These are absolutely stunning. Just gorgeous. So even though this looks very much like a Little Mermaid retelling from the cover here, I don't think this is. In this dark and sultry enemies to lovers romantasy, a mermaid battles hatred and lust for the wretched warlock who saved her life. On the run from a dangerous captor and years of abuse, mermaid Zephyra of the Seal has shed her tail, grown legs, and hidden herself on land in the marrow-loathing kingdom of Mortia, or Mortia, I'm not sure of the pronunciation, left to steal and barter on the dirty streets. But her freedom is short-lived when she's caught and sentenced to death by the brutal warlock Arian Stone. Arian is as beautiful as he is cold and deadly. only interested in punishing the marrow he views as evil. He has grown as strong as any warlock might, but at great personal cost, which can only be remedied by the heart of the god of death, lost to a fabled kingdom beneath the ocean's treacherous depths. So it is an enemies to lovers, which historically I haven't always enjoyed. I am a little bit worried about that. But aside from that aspect, I think it's going to be a good time. I really hope I love it because it is such a beautiful book. And I'm very much in the phase of if I don't love a book, I'm going to send it on. Like, I'm not going to keep it on my shelves. And as beautiful as this book is, I really do want to love it. I also recently received my Illumicrate box, and inside was Thistle Marsh. This is absolutely gorgeous. The foiling on this is just something else. I am loving this red foiling on things. I've received quite a few books with this on it lately. I will say the naked hardback is really nothing to write home about. It's quite plain. I'm sure it has something to do with the actual story, but it's quite ordinary. And we have the end papers as well. Again, really nothing. I mean, this dragon has me wondering, but the end papers are pretty bland in my opinion. Again, I'm sure they have something to do with the story, but what they have to do with the story, I won't know until I read it. Fairies disappeared over 100 years ago as suddenly as slipping through a doorway. It was only the very foolish or the very determined who held out hope for their return. In the wake of World War I, the world is a decidedly unmagical place. Mouse Dunn once dreamed of becoming a fairy anthropologist, but with one telegram her world shattered. At the Somme, her cousin Bertie's body disappeared into the mud, and her brother Roger came home with devastating shell shock. It was time, she knew, to put aside childish dreams. Then Mouse receives news that her uncle has left her Thistle Marsh Hall, a crumbling manor in the English countryside, once blessed by the fairy king himself. But there is a catch. If Mouse does not rehabilitate the house in 1 month's time, she will forfeit her inheritance and any hope of caring for her brother. I'm not really sure about this one. I'm definitely going to give it a try and hope for the best. Of course, I'm really not going into it with any expectations, which I often feel like is the best way to go into a book. I think a lot of times I can go into a book with no expectations and come out and it's absolutely amazing. I think a lot of times if I go into a book expecting nothing, like having zero thoughts about if I'm going to like it, if it's going to be for me, even if I read something and it's not something I would normally read, I think oftentimes because I haven't had any expectations or preconceived notions, the book will actually do better for me. Um, Usually in those instances, I only dislike it if it's really bad and I just something I'm not getting on with something in the book. So I'm just going to go into it with no expectations and hope for the best. I was really lucky enough to win this in a Goodreads giveaway. I am going to need to pick up the first copy, but I think I'm just going to wait on reading this until I can get my hands on the finished copies of both. I'm just going to have to wait on this one, but I am pretty excited about it. I actually don't really know too much about the series, and I'm kind of hesitant to really look into it, but I will read you what it says on the back. It says, "A god stilled the hands of time for Anna in these immortal truths. Now those stolen hours come due in these godly lives. The stunning and sweeping conclusion to the peaches and honey duology. She assumed they had forever. She knows better now." So June and July is when both will be available. Then I also picked up 50 Shades Darker because I do want to reread the series. It is one of my favorite series, and I was only missing this book. I also heard that these are going to be republished sometime in the near future, so I wanted to make sure that I got my hands on the original covers before they disappeared and were extremely hard to find. This is also super, like, the flop. It's beautiful. So, not much to say about this. If you don't know about 50 Shades of Grey, I don't know what to tell you. It's been several years. It's been probably about 15 years since I actually read this series, so I am eager to do a reread and see if I'm still going to love it as much as I did. Did not love the movies. I didn't really like the casting for Anna was fine, but I didn't really love who they casted for Christian Grey. I mean, it is what it is. I just didn't care for him too much as Christian Grey. The first book was not my favorite book. Actually, the third book is my favorite, but overall the series was good. It's probably like a 4 to 4.5 star series for me. Again, I will be rereading this and we'll see if that actually holds up. Then I won a little giveaway on Instagram and I won these 3 books. This Vicious Grace, which I am super excited to get into. Then we have Smoke and Scar, which is absolutely stunning. And Only a Monster. And this is a pretty cute little addition. I thought I would just give you guys a little blurb. So for this Vicious Grace, 3 weddings, 3 funerals. Alessa's gift from the gods is supposed to magnify a partner's magic, not kill every suitor she touches. Now, with only weeks left until a hungry swarm of demon devours everything on her island home, Alessa is running out of time to find a partner and stop the invasion. When a powerful priest convinces the faithful that killing Alessa is the island's only hope, her own soldiers try to assassinate her. Desperate to survive, Alessa hires Dante, a cynical outcast marked as a killer, to become her personal bodyguard. But as rebellion explodes outside the gates, Dante's dark secrets may be the biggest betrayal. He holds the key to her survival and her heart. But is he the one person who can help her master her gift or destroy her once and for all? I don't know what to think of it. I just know that I'm very excited. It's also another floppy book. Yeah, the blurb really excited me, and the cover too. Guys, you know I'm a sucker for a good cover. Then we have Of Smoke and Scar, and this is, I believe, the first in a trilogy, and I have heard nothing but wonderful things about this book. So I am very excited to give it a try. A splintered kingdom, an ancient grudge has kept humans and the magical races of Arcanas at odds for centuries. The Arcane Crucible, a legendary series of trials that occurs every 25 years, offers a chance for peace. A haunted warrior, Illyria Lightbreaker, once a celebrated Fae war hero, is a shadow of her former self. Drowning in grief after losing the man she loved to the previous crucible, now she must rise to stop his sister from falling to the same fate. A vengeful knight. Hardened by loss and fueled by hate, Cedric Thorne's lifelong goal to conquer the crucible on humanity's behalf is finally within reach. The only problem, getting through the trials alive, means working with Illyria, the very Fae he blames for his parents' death. An unwinnable challenge. With alliances fragile as spun glass and betrayal lurking at every turn, Illyria and Cedric must navigate deadly trials that test their strength, spirit, and magic, as well as their increasingly complex feeling for each other. This is the Arcane Crucible. So, yeah, there's like a theme to this haul. There's a lot of fairies. Why is there so many fairies? I don't even know if I really like fairies that much, but we're about to find out, I guess, this year. And then Only a Monster by Vanessa Len, which I might pick up for American Asian, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander month, since that is the month we are currently in. Just says on the back, don't forget the rule. No one can know what we are, what you are. You must never tell anyone about monsters. And I'll just read a little bit of the inside. In every story, there is a hero and a monster. It should have been the perfect summer. Sent to stay with her late mother's eccentric family in London, 16-year-old Joan is determined to enjoy herself. She loves her nerdy job at the historic Holland House. When her super cute coworker Nick asks her on a date, it feels like everything is falling into place. Then a Good Samaritan attempt gone wrong sends Joan spinning through time, and her life quickly begins to unravel. That's it. That's all I'm reading, because already I might pick this one up this month. Might pick this one up tomorrow. No, I have a book I need to finish. Um, I have a few books that I need to read, but this one might be getting bumped to the top of my list. Now, the rest of these books are just recent Fairy Loot books that I've received. I just received my April YA box from Fairy Loot, and the book is gorgeous. Like I said, I have been loving this red foiling. The edges are also beautiful. But the real magic is on the hardcover and the inside. And this is so beautiful. absolutely stunning. And on the end papers as well. So I know absolutely nothing about this book other than it is so beautiful and I hope that I love it and I want to love it, and it might possibly have to do with vampires, and also the author I believe is deaf. Inside, I'll read a little bit of the blurb. It just says, "Love is the deadliest bargain. Shea Parker has lived her entire life in the shadow of the Gravewood, a deadly forest that's cut her town off from the world. With resources dwindling, she's forced to ration her hearing aid batteries. When her stash runs out, she'll be left in silence. Her only hope is Oliver Lysander, the volatile leader of the vampires who rule the Gravewood. Their deal is simple. She gives him her blood, he brings her batteries. No lines crossed, nothing personal. Until Shea's best friend is lured into the Gravewood and her brother Asher Thorley returns from the front lines willing to expose Shea's darkest secrets to get his sister back. I don't love vampires. If you've been on my channel for any amount of time, I am positive that you know this. However, I have been proven wrong. So I have been burnt out in the past from the whole Twilight era. I just feel like that was a period of time where everything was vampires all the time, constantly. If it was vampires, it was werewolves. And if it wasn't vampires or werewolves, it was freaking zombies. And I am just over those three things. Like, come up with something new, please. I'm begging you. But I did read Bride this year and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. So because of that, because of me like proving myself wrong and things that I thought that I wouldn't enjoy in the past, I am actually excited to read this one. I mean, it is beautiful. Like I just and say, oh, I want to love it because it's a beautiful book. It is a beautiful book. I'm not gonna lie to you, but based on the synopsis, I really do get the vibe that I might actually enjoy it. I will be broken if I hate this book, so please, please let me enjoy it. Then my pre-order for The Rebel Witch finally came in, and this is also a pretty beautiful book, although it's not as designed as I would expect it to be. The edges are fine, but I feel like they're very similar, for one, to the Crimson Moth, or the exact same, I should say. But also, like, why is it not black? Why is it gray? And it's very uneven. Yeah, I just feel like this is not the quality that I expect from Fairy Loot. This is the naked hardcover. It does have the original cover in a different colorway. This is the same price as any other book box, so I would expect it to have the same quality. I mean, the cover is gorgeous. The cover is gorgeous. But even on the inside, the end papers are exactly the same on the front and back. Like, they're beautiful. I have not yet read The Crimson Moth. It is on my TBR, but I was waiting for this book in order to read it. I just wanted to be able to binge both books. I do not have the Fairy Loot edition of The Crimson Moth, and last I checked on Pango, it was selling for like $200 something. So I will probably never own that, which sucks, but at least I have this pretty edition. I think I might have to talk to Fairy Loot about this because I just don't think that's okay. Then I have The Last Starborn Seer, which came in the March fantasy box. I did briefly show this and discuss the synopsis in another video. I'm not going to get into the synopsis here, but feel free to check out that video. Then I have Starside, which was the April fantasy box, and this is absolutely beautiful. Not necessarily the dust jacket. I actually don't love the choices made for this dust jacket. I don't love it. But I am looking very forward to reading Starside. What I do love about this edition is the naked hardcover. It also has the original cover, so I think I'm actually going to put that cover on my book because I don't, like I said, I don't love the redesigned cover. But this is the naked hardcover, and I think it's absolutely stunning. And while this is very beautiful, the back, oh my god, are you kidding me? Look at that dragon. Look at that dragon. It's, oh my god, it's just beautiful. The end papers are really nothing to write home about, in my opinion. They're kind of cool, but I mean, it is what it is. Enter the enchanting and deadly world of Starside, where swords have magic and power isn't inherited, it's claimed. Hundreds of years ago, a brutal war split a land in two. Starside is the realm of magic and immortals, the descendants of the gods living in a power rich paradise. Stormside is where mortals fight for scraps of that magic. Every 50 years, the gates between them open, and 50 challengers are allowed to journey across Starside on a deadly quest for magic that can heal, grant wealth, or extend life. Everyone has their reasons for entering. But Eris has only one: vengeance against the gods who killed her family. Winning one of the 50 spots on the quest won't be easy. An orphaned blacksmith's apprentice, Eris doesn't have the superior weapons of the heirs from the great houses, but the greatest swords, ones that contain power, are not inherited or bought. They are claimed by both sides. And when Eris claims a great sword, it makes her not just a real competitor, but a target. I have heard mixed reviews on this one. I've heard people really love it. I've also heard people DNF it and really not enjoy it at all. So I am a little bit hesitant to go into this one, but it is a book that I am so highly anticipating, and I'm just scared that it's going to let me down. I hope not. I really hope not, but only time will tell. And then the last book I have is from the April Romanticy box, and it is Death's Daughter. This is also a gorgeous edition. It's absolutely stunning. I feel like the dust jacket is a little bit plain, but I like it. I like that there's not a lot going on. When I tell you the hardcover and the end papers, don't even get me started. Mm, that's beautiful. I don't care who you are. That is gorgeous. And then the end pages. Like, what? And just, it has that really nice, like, soft matte touch feel. Oh my god. It's gorgeous. It also has like this really nice smell. It's hard for me to describe it. It has a really lovely, like, kind of fruity smell. It's weird. Anyway, I have no idea what this book is about either. It says death has been part of her from the very beginning. Jocasta has carved out a normal life at Beecher University. Well, as normal as it can be when your name is Jocasta and you are the only child of death. Jo has a good job, great friends, and is trying to get over a secret fling with an unbelievably attractive and unbelievably available grad student. But she's also lonely. No one close to her knows the truth about who or what she is, or that she must feed to survive, and she feeds on them, their disappointments, failures, and rejections. It's not a perfect system, but it works. Just. Till a handsome stranger and descendant of lust shows up on campus and announces that Death has formally named Jo as his successor. Now she's both a powerful ally and a massive threat, and everyone she loves is a target. But Beecher is the only place that has ever felt like home, and Jo will do anything to protect it, even if it means becoming the very thing she hates. New semester, fresh blood. Welcome to the final year at Beecher University. Okay, I do love a college setting, and see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, she's feeding, but it's death. Interesting. Something new. Like, we're going in a different direction here. It's not that hard. Like, be unique, be inventive. Please, I'm begging you. I'm excited to read this one now. So, those are some of the most recent books that I have hauled. I am sure I have other books that have come through and I haven't talked to you about, but we're just going to start from here and continue going on. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me and seeing some of my new pretties. And let me know if you guys have read any of these books and what you thought about them, if you think I'm going to enjoy them, if any of them were your favorite. If you want to leave a comment, you don't know what to leave, just leave a book stack. That's fine. Just as long as we get some engagement. I would love for you to like and subscribe this video. That helps me so much, as does leaving a comment and sticking around for the next uploads. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye.